to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Good day, viewers, and welcome to this episode of ATN Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to prefer solutions that will benefit humanity. And today on Society Watch, we have Imo State's community protest, polytechnic relocation, and 6 reversal. In Lagos State government enhancing healthcare to attract foreign patients, says the commissioner. In the National Assembly, the reps propose converting seized properties to government offices. And in the health sector, NGO campaigns against smoking and cites high fatalities. We'll go for a short break, and when we return, we'll introduce our guests and go into the issues for today. Please stay tuned.
Kasali, I hope so my car don't ready. I get interview in 30 minutes.
Okay, you don't ready. I just the last minute instruction where you give me yesterday. Now in the cause more delay.
Which instruction?
Maybe now you say make I change the meter, make you no read again.
Which time did I make you change meter? Oh, Kasali, why you do like this now? Eh? You don't get sense. You don't read the text message. Nobody I want send them to. Like Kasali, my electrician, make it come house, call me do my meter so that you don't go to read again. You the electrician?
The electrician.
Yes, now.
So you call Kasali electrician, make it come help you adjust your meter, make it for no read again, Abi. So you said you want join people where be say they no want they pay NEPA bill again, Abi. Oga, you know good now. You don't use you know they behave like all these stiff people.
Oh, what you change for your motor? What you change for?
Two lights. Fuel gauge. Speedometer.
For what now? You for come out for home my motor. I bet you identify for me.
Okay. Now don't do something we corrupt. And something come backfire. Now go come they find how to dodge them.
What you talk?
I agree to you.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
And with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
What do you want to buy?
Potato. Small baskets. I want plantain. But why your plantain can't hard like this?
Madam, now the outside hard. Inside there, it is very soft.
Madam, wallahi make I no buy them. Make I show you something. What? What's in this one? Madam, this one now the chemical where they put on for the plantain make I ripe up.
So you dey put chemical for plantain where people go chop?
No water, no be chemical.
Water. You know say Pela I don't talk and say water and not be enemy. Drink am.
Where you collect that water, drink am.
I just stop finish. See my belly. It don't big. I just stop drink water finish.
Wait, you drink am now. I dey sell am plantain, I go come put am for chemical because I want to make a ripe go. That one I talk now corruption. Corruption. Not be for this kaswa, come not be for this country. Now me take am.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation.
Glad to have you back on ATN Society Watch. Now, our guest for today is an educationist of note, and his name is Minabo Dagogo Lawson. It's a pleasure having you on ATN Society Watch, sir.
It's always my pleasure being here. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, let's head straight to the first story for discussions. Residents of Umunakano, Owerri in Imo State's Iheme Mbano local government area protested against Governor Hope Uzodimma's plan to relocate the state polytechnic from their area to Omuma. They urge the governor to keep the campus in Omunakano in Owerri and make Omuma the main campus instead. Protesters, including students and community members, argue that the relocation would increase crime and poverty in their community. Chief Vitus Osuji highlighted the Polytechnic's positive impact on local development since its establishment in 2012. The youth leader, Mr. Kayetan Ekayawo, emphasized that the removal would lead to increased social vices. And that begs the question, heading direct to the interview section right now. Being an educationist yourself, what prompted Governor Hopudo Uzodinma's ban of the multi-campus system of the Imo State Polytechnic, sir?
Well, one cannot really tell his motive for banning multi-campus system, because if there is anything I am aware of, is the fact that citing of government projects and ventures from urban area to the rural areas help in development of the rural areas.
Exactly.
Okay, so one would not know what his motives are for relocating the campus from Ehime Mbano to another local government. We must understand that siting of that institution, that polytechnic in Ehime Mbano, has brought development in that area. I mean, people have invested in houses and others, and then him coming now to relocate it, economic activities will be crippled.
Exactly.
You know, so maybe we will wait to see what his motives are, because from what we gathered, he's relocating it to his own local government area.
Exactly.
And one we hope and wish that it is not politically motivated. Because if it is politically motivated, it will be a disservice to that locality, Ehime Mbano.
Thank you very much, sir. But I still see, I want you to agree or disagree with me, that he closing down other campuses of the Imo State Polytechnic and still retaining that in Omuma, which is in his own country home. Does it, I think it reeks of favoritism, it reeks of foul play. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. And that is one thing with government policies in our country. Government policies must ensure to benefit all and sundry, irrespective of whose ass is God. Okay?
Yes.
Government policies, I mean, this is democracy, and people all over the state should be able to feel the impact of democracy.
Exactly. And talking about the investments that has already surrounded the campus, mostly in Mbano. I mean, there are people that would have built hostel accommodations, off-campus hostels. There are businesses, vendors, and both those that take care of typing, photocopy, all those small and medium-scale businesses have been functioning there. What's now will be the hope, or what is the fate of such businesses and the investments that has been functioning in that campus itself?
Well, whether we like it or not, everything will be downtrodden. Everything will cripple. And that is the gospel truth, because it has taken over time for the campus to be erected there, people erecting their businesses as well. And this policy coming, for me, is an abrupt policy. I am not so sure that he informed the people ahead of time. At least notices should be given to people, okay? that, look, this is what the government want to do,
Exactly.
and allow them an ample opportunity to rethink their lives, to rethink their businesses, instead of waking up one morning and making anti-people's decision, whether we like it or not. The removal of that university, that polytechnic from Ehimembano will affect the life of the people. You know, especially in this time in our country where we are facing the harshest of economic situations. Okay, how would those people who will lose their businesses, how would they survive? You know, sometimes when government make policies, government should be able to think. Now we did not hear of any compensation, exactly. And I also doubt if I thought they will even pay any form of compensation to people whose business activities will crumble.
Okay, but sir, what are the benefits of having a multi-campus system? Let me play the devil's advocate that the governor was right. What were the benefits prior to this time of the multi-campus system, prior to the governor and the House of Assembly in Imo State putting a stop to it?
Well, we're in a stage in our society when we are talking about urbanization, okay?
Exactly.
Decongesting the cities and then spreading development to other localities.
Exactly.
Okay? I mean, these multi-campuses, as we have it there, using the Imo State Polytechnic, for example, there is no place that campus will be sited that development will not come to, okay? Yeah. Because investment will come. In fact, there will be a searchlight. There will be influx of people in that locality. Exactly. Okay? And then Imo State being the capital, Owerri being the capital of Imo State, will be decongested.
Exactly.
And then development will spread to other parts of Imo State.
Exactly. And I know that ASUP, Association of Staff of University of Polytechnic Staff, ASUP, has commended the governor for the step he took towards banning the multi-campus system, citing that there was low enrollment of students and that the economic and revenue drive was not really very as strong as it ought to be. That is why they are supporting a single campus system. Do you agree with their position?
Well, whether we like it or not, a time will still come when they will say, you know what, the main campus is too populated.
Okay.
Is it that, are they being myopic? I mean, the government should at least be futuristic.
Exactly.
The essence of these multi-campuses, sometimes it makes for more input, okay? It decongest a particular, let's take the main campus, for example, where it becomes populated, sometimes even because the infrastructure sometimes cannot even carry, unless the government is telling us that, look, in the future, we are not expecting any population growth. In a situation where you know that this polytechnic is going to grow, okay, there is nothing stopping you from making rooms for future purposes. And this is where this siting of campuses in different areas, this is where it comes in. And again, it also gives people access to education. It brings down the cost of education. I mean, people who are in Ehimembano cannot go to Omuma to access education, sometimes because of transportation and accommodation problems, okay? So, citing campuses in different localities encourages people in that locality to also have the benefit of going to school.
Okay, prior to the campus at Mbano being converted to a polytechnic, it was a skill acquisition center. Should we believe that it is going back to that status quo? Or what will be the fate of such structures in Mbano presently, sir?
Well, we will just have to wait and see what the government is looking at. because as I'm talking to you, I'm beginning to wonder, I am thinking, what other business can be accommodated in that campus that will give that locality the face it has now in terms of the economic growth that they have experienced over time during the period that this campus was sited there.
Exactly. Anyway, we have been talking to Minabo, Dagogo, Lawson, an educationist, and we are going to proceed to our next question. The story for the next topic is concerning Lagos State. The Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, stated that Lagos aims to provide high-quality medical services to attract both local and international patients, boosting the local economy and establishing the state as a medical hub. At the ministerial briefing, he highlighted efforts to make healthcare accessible regardless of economic status and emphasized continuous legal reviews to align with global health practices. The state is enhancing care across all healthcare levels through governance improvements. Notably, Lagos is moving towards mandatory health insurance for all residents, with all subsidies for low-income households. Additionally, partnerships with global healthcare institutions are being pursued to enhance medical expertise and technology. So, sir, we are having a situation where there's an upsurge, there's a revamping of the medical sector in Lagos State, not just for Lagosians now, but to be a medical hub, not just in Nigeria, but also in Africa, attracting international patients. Right now, the people that will bear the brunt of it, I believe, are the less privileged, the poor, in that right now they cannot even access quality health care. With the revamping of the healthcare sector to take care of mostly those that can afford it and international patients, what will be the fate of the less privileged and the poor that cannot access such healthcare services, even if those from outside the country can come and access it? What is the hope of the common man in Lagos State with the onset of this development, sir?
Well, it would be most unfortunate to see that the medical field, the medical industry is being revamped in Lagos State, majorly for if the international community is the focus, then the aim will be defeated. At least you should first of all take care of the masses in Lagos State. Before you talk about, yes, we want to stop. I mean, in this studio, we've talked about medical tourism and our medical doctors, medical practitioners leaving the country. Yeah. Okay, so if the health sector in Lagos State is receiving the attention it requires, okay, it is commendable. However, we cannot deprive our masses. You cannot deprive the indigent in Lagos State their medical rights because you want to attract international community to come and receive medical attention. No. Charity begins at home. Okay? Yeah. Let medical be accessible to all and sundry. And then even if we are talking about attracting the international community, it is beautiful. Okay? After all, our medical doctors are seeking greener pastures elsewhere. Exactly. So we will also be happy to have other people come to invest in Nigeria, come to work in Nigeria. But charity must begin at home.
Definitely, definitely. I like that point you made there. Charity has to begin at home. And how possible? I know that it's a good move, economically wise, centering us as a medical hub in Nigeria for the rest of not just Africa, but also the world, and showcasing our medical expertise as much as we can. Do you suggest that this should be replicated in other states of the country, sir?
Well, of course. Of course, it will be one of the best things that will happen to us in this country. okay, if the federating units, the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, if we will be able to grow our health institution to attract foreigners, foreign investment, foreigners coming into this country, into the various parts of the states in this country to come and seek medical attention. I mean, today we are talking about the exchange rate and all that, okay? These are the sort of things that will help, you know, balance this foreign exchange that we are suffering. So if the other states in the country can emulate it and then, you know what, develop the health sector so that even the politicians that are running here and there for medical attention, let us have it here in our own home. Exactly. So it will be encourageable.
Okay, sir, but be that as it may, delving deeper into medical sciences and best practices, and Lagos State is not known to have a medical university per se, to be able to train manpower and also to serve as a teaching hospital per se, as in to go deeper into medical practice and research. Without that, how are they going to succeed in having a medical hub in Lagos State, sir?
Well, for the minister to be talking about it, that they want to make Lagos State, or they have made Lagos State a medical hub, even to the attraction of foreigners, it then means that there is something in the offing, okay? Because for a madman, a blind man rather, to say he's going to stone you, obviously there is something he's matching that is giving him that courage. So it is possible that they have put their ass together to see before coming out with this statement. It then means that there is something in the offing. They have strategized to see that Lagos State truly becomes a medical hub for not just Lagosians alone, but for foreigners.
We are still in the throes of minimum wage issues. We just talked about the brain drain of the medical staff from Nigeria leaving to other parts of the world to ply their trade. What steps do you advise Lagos State to take as concerns living wages for the medical practitioners that are going to be assisting in this medical hub? Is it going to be the same story as usual, or is Lagos going to set a better pace to be able to make sure that the staff and the welfare of the staff are taken care of completely, sir?
Well, you cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand. It will crash like a pack of cards. You cannot talk about medical hub, making Lagos State a medical hub for the rest of the world, without making sure that the same thing that has bedeviled the health sector up to this moment, that has made our medical practitioners to leave this country, you cannot do that without making sure that those things are taken care of, okay? I am aware that the living wage is a problem for most of the medical practitioners. They want to be well paid, okay? And I am sure that if the Lagos State government must succeed, and if the Federal Ministry of Health in general must succeed in making sure that our health sector is working, okay, the living wage must be adequate for the health workers. Otherwise, it will go the same way. It will be the same thing. It will be the same cry all the time. And we'll keep repeating, we'll keep having this issue of medical tourism, people leaving the country for greener pastures as well, especially the medical doctors.
Now, they've made a statement concerning mandatory health insurance for all Lagosians. Is that tenable? Is that obtainable? Can they go ahead with it? Is it feasible in Nigeria?
Well, the thing is, whether we like it or not, government is a proud institution. It's all about political will. If the political will is there is nothing government cannot achieve. Exactly. Okay? Yeah. If they say they want a health insurance for all Lagosians, it is possible. The resources are there. Okay? It's achievable.
It's achievable.
Yes.
Okay, then now going into the issue of overcrowding, traffic congestion, which is the bane of Lagos State most of the times. How would the government advise the government on what to do to be able to, save medical tourists from such stress and burden as pertains infrastructure in Lagos to be able to sustain the medical hub?
Well, the issue of traffic in Lagos State, the cry has always been there. And I am sure that government after government has been making efforts to see that there is less traffic on the road and then people can get to wherever they are going to in real time. And I am sure that the government of Sanwo-Olu is still making sure that that issue is being taken care of. Okay? I will suggest, I will still advise that attention should be given to road and rail infrastructure. Okay? I mean, the waterways can, water transportation can be developed, and this thing can curb the issue of traffic, the man-hour people spend on the road on a daily basis.
Okay, viewers, we have been speaking to Minabo, Dagogo Lawson, an educationist, giving his 2 cents on issues bordering on the highlights of today's reports across the country. We'll go for a very short break, and when we return, we'll delve deeper into some other stories. Please stay tuned.
Get ready! As Morrison Communications Limited proudly presents Children's Day Celebration 2024 at La Small Hotel and Resorts, number 9, Rumukalabo off Waterlines, Basta, Port Harcourt.
On Saturday, May 25th, starting at 8 a.m. Inter-school march past competition,
dance competition, drama competition. Parents, teachers, and children alike, don't miss out on the fun with Uncle Clown, Bouncing Castle as we cut the Children's Day cake. Admission is just 2,000 naira per child. For participation and sponsorship opportunities, call us now 0806 673 8689 and 0810 634 1777.
This event is proudly sponsored by the Last Mall Hotel and Resort with Atlantic Television Network and 99.5 Wish FM Port Harcourt, Lesuka Event Center, Gate Place Hotel, 8 Ball Hotel and Lounge, Oma Studio, Osgia Table Water. Remember that every child is unique. See you there. This event is managed by Pace Expressions Arts.
Special guest appearance, Hilda Dokubo, Children's Day Celebration 2024.
Kasali, I hope my card don't ready. I get interview in 30 minutes.
Okay, you don't ready. I just the last minute instruction where you give me yesterday. Now in the cause more delay.
Which instruction?
Shebi now you say make I change the meter, make you no read again.
Which time I make you change meter? Oh, Kasali, why you do like this now? You don't get sense. You don't read the text message. Nobody I want send them to. Like Kasali, my electrician, make you come house, call me do my meter so that you don't go to read again. You the electrician?
Your electrician?
Yes, now.
So you call Kasali electrician, make you come help you adjust your meter, make it for no read again, abi? So you said you want join people where we say they no want they pay NEPA bill again, abi? Oga, you know good now. You don't use you don't they behave like tea, all these stiff people.
Oh, what you change from your motor? What you change from?
School light. Fuel gauge. Speedometer.
For what now? You for come out for home my motor. I bet you identify for me.
Okay. Now don't do something we corrupt. And something come backfire. Now go come they find how to dodge them.
What you talk?
They greet you.
Corruption not in my
This
country.
message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
And with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
What you want to buy?
Potato. Small baskets. I want plantain. But why your plantain can't hard like this? Why?
Madam, now the outside hard. Inside there, it is very soft.
Madam, wallahi make I no buy am. Make I show you something. What? What in be this one? Madam, this one now the chemical what they put on for the plantain make I ripe up. Come on, not be for
Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
And with broadcast. It's glad to have you back on ATN Society Watch. And we have our guest here. He has been giving us his own 2 cents, his own opinions on issues bordering on the breaking news in Nigeria today. is by the name of Minabo Dagogo Lawson, an educationist. And I am still your host, Raymond Ken Mbata. And now let's go to the next story for discussion. The House of Representatives urged the federal government to renovate and convert abandoned and forfeited properties, both local and abroad, for public use. The resolution followed a motion by Iyawe Esosa, representing Oredo Federal Constituency of Edo State. Esosa argued that many government agencies rent office spaces despite the availability of unused government properties, and he highlighted that asset recovery facilitated by the Proceeds of Crime Recovery and Management Act could combat corruption effectively. Notably, converting seized properties for office use saved the country about 180 billion naira in 2017. The motion has been referred to the Committee on Public Assets for further action. And going straight into the matters for discussion today, being that there has been rented spaces used by government agencies, and there are buildings that has been seized, maybe via the courts, via forfeiture, and otherwise. What has been the status quo before the member of the House brought this up? What has been the status quo of all these other properties? How have they been managed over the years, sir?
Well, the thing is, the EFCC and the government over time does not make some of these assets, properties that are recovered public. In most cases, I'm sure that if people know locations of properties, government properties that has been recovered from corrupt politicians, how much that has been recovered from corrupt politicians, I think the people will better guide the government, okay, on how best to utilize these recovered properties, okay. Until this moment, I am not so sure that these things are made public, okay. If there is a periodical review, a periodical report to say this is what so property that has been recovered by the EFCC, these are their locations, this is so amount of money that has been recovered from corrupt politicians, okay? At least the society, the people can even assist in telling government, okay, this is what you should do, this is what you should not do.
And what is the rationale behind not making this public?
Well, if you look at it too, sometimes corruption has been the bane of this country. Okay. The looted property that has been recovered, okay? In most cases, sometimes government keep quiet because sometimes, well, I don't want to indict them, but that is the reality in our faces, okay? Sometimes these looted properties, if they are not being made public, it goes the same way it came.
Oh, so that means that it can be rebought by those that it was impounded from?
It can be rebought.
That it can be repossessed by the persons or by their proxies that it was seized from in the first place?
I mean, that is a proceed of corruption.
Exactly.
Okay, I mean, giving it back to them
for a fee or so.
Is still the same thing. Government shooting itself on the leg.
And why hasn't? Because I'm still trying to get the rationale behind. I mean, there were procedures that procedures took place before we got to the point of this is now a seized property, and those procedures showed transparency. So why should such properties that have been seized from erring citizens not be made public so that the public can also invest in them, or the public can also be aware that the government is working in those kind of sectors?
Well, I think the issue here is the issue of having laws that exist only in the document, okay? Because, yes, just like the Asset Recovery and Management Act is there, and is very robust, okay? But the problem is only it exists in the books. I think it's right time government begin to implement some of these laws. And it is high time that, the general public should also look at what is contained in this act. Okay, sometimes we are less concerned about these things, and that is why the politicians, they capitalize on them. If you and I, we look at these laws and insist that these laws should be implemented, okay, we talk about them, I'm sure that there is a whole lot that we can do as citizens to hold people accountable.
And what's your take concerning that? Okay, let us think about another, a different way of approaching these matters. Instead of government offices, government parastatals occupying these buildings for office spaces, why doesn't the government think about sales of these properties, which I know many of them will be valuable, sales, and remit it into their accounts to solve some other problems, instead of handing it over to any government agency to occupy and use?
Okay, well, if I am to add my voice to that of a SOSA, I will also ask the government to also look at the direction of sales instead of occupation, okay? Because if in 2017 we were able to make that amount of money, about 180 billion naira from sales of looted properties, okay? And now in this nation we are facing the worst, the harshest economic reality, okay? Sales, if we put those properties to sale and reinvest the capital, I mean, it's going to go a long way in helping society, other than just occupation alone, okay? I am not even sure that the government is crying at the moment that government is crying of lack of space, okay, to do government business. I am not so sure, okay? So outright sale and reinvestment will be the best option for me.
And being that the EFCC has been releasing reports of humongous amounts seized from people, properties and all that, including maybe that of even known criminals like Evans, the kidnapper, and some other high-profile cases, doesn't it shock us that we don't hear about what comes about, what happens after these seizures? Is the EFCC complicit in the usage and the disposal of those items without the public notice?
Well, this is where we talk about transparency of government, okay? It is right time. Well, good thing, SERAP is asking the state governments, the 36 state government, and including the FCT, to make public the FAC allocation they've received over the years, okay? Accountability in the system is what makes for economic growth and development, okay? It helps to check corruption. If resources are recovered from corrupt politicians and then the masses don't know how or whether these resources are reinvested or how these monies are used, then we are still talking about the same story. It is also possible that the EFCC is complicit in it. It is also possible that the government is complicit in it, okay? Because government after government will keep talking about corruption. We keep talking about corruption. In fact, the last administration, their mantra was to kill corruption. But it appears that they became the worst corrupt government in history of Nigeria.
Meaning that corruption fought back.
Corruption is always fighting back in this country. Okay, and this is why sometimes some of these recovered loot, you and I don't get to know their whereabouts. Okay, sometimes we hear about this humongous amount of money being recovered. But what investment were this money used for? Okay, I mean, look at the Abacha's loot.
Yeah.
I just hope that SERAP, okay, will continue its fight in asking state government and asking state government that, look, provide account, give us account of the FAC allocations you have received all these years. I hope they will follow suit.
And sir, we do, I mean, back in the days, we used to hear about auctions in police but the police does auctions. When you go to an average police station, you get to see accidented cars, you get to see impounded cars, some there for ages. Then all of a sudden you get to hear from one or two grapevine that there's going to be an auction, but you don't get to hear that in the mass media. What do you advise the government of the day concerning such properties, including that of the EFCC? What is your tidbit on what should be the standard practice, sir?
Well, only yesterday, talking about this issue, only yesterday I was at the state CID, and then I made observation and I asked a friend that these cars, that their numbers are reducing. And he made mention to me that they auction the cars. And I asked, how do they do this auction? Do they make it public? He said yes. But truth be told, I have never heard that a particular police command is auctioning vehicles and how these vehicles are being auctioned. In all honesty, I am not aware. Maybe the public is aware of it. I do not know. Just like you said, maybe they don't go to the mass media, okay? But I think the ideal thing should have been go to the mass media, make it public, okay? And then it is a government proceed. This thing should go back to the government coffers.
Definitely, definitely. And being that the reps member Esosa is proffering that government offices, that some government parastatals, ministries, departments, and agencies have been paying rent for their offices. Doesn't it sound absurd that government agencies up till today are still paying rent for their offices, sir?
Well, that is the unseriousness we face in the government business. Okay? That is the unseriousness we face. No matter how we look at it, I should think that ministries, parastatals, and agencies should have enough space to do government business. Okay? And where that is not the case, government should be able to erect structures. In fact, government should be erecting structures to even make money for themselves. Okay? Exactly. It's only in this nation nowadays, we no longer see government building houses, okay, giving out building transportation companies. These are the ways that government makes money for itself, for herself. Unfortunately, we no longer see these things. Okay, now look at that of a Rivers State. In the last administration, Rivers Transport Company was killed. Okay? Yeah. Now, how does government make money again when the one that was generating revenue for them is killed? Okay? Government means of getting funds for the government, they are killing it. Government build houses for rentage and all that. It's absurd to even hear that government is struggling to rent properties to conduct government business. Why government should even be erecting structures for businesses to even collect from them and pay them rentages?
Should it be that because government is not a very good businessman, that they have decided that, oh, let us not go into construction of office spaces for our staff instead? Or is it as a means of looting the coffers dry because paying rent for over years? Because, for example, we got to know that the former NDDC building along a bar road, that it was rented all the while before NDDC now built their own structure. Many years
let me even shock you. Yeah. Let me shock you. Why that place, Harodapa Brie's house, along Aba Road, was on rentage? Why the NDDC was renting that place? Their structure was about, if not 70% completed. Whoa. Yes. Their structure along the Eastern Bypass. The period they were renting that place, that structure was almost about, it was all above 50% completed. Whoa. And then one would have asked, and one would ask, with the humongous amount that goes to the coffers of the NDDC year in, year out, why is that structure left alone? And then you are renting a place. Okay? Exactly. Paying, I mean, that structure, you can imagine how much is being paid for that structure when it was under rentage. You know, when a government lacks vision, these are the sort of things you see. The thing is, we are over-dependent on oil in this nation. There are other means of getting monies, getting finance to fund project, okay? But look at our project, our budget is highly dependent on oil, okay?
Mono economy.
And now, mono economy. And now today, the prices of oil is not stable. And then it's making the economy to fluctuate. Okay? But then we neglect the internally generated things that will internally generate us revenue. Okay? I mean, look at a nation like Nigeria. We do not have a transport system that can milk government money and even ease transportation in Nigeria.
Exactly.
You talk about River State. There is no transportation company owned by River State to help the government and help the masses. And then you went for free buses that are maintenance is out of this world. It's going when you lack vision. These are the sort of things you see. That the government will go to rent properties to run its business. It's absurd. It's lack of vision.
All right, let's head on to the next topic for discussion. Akimbode Oluwafemi, the Executive Director of Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa, CAPPA, condemned tobacco smoking, noting that it has caused over 80 million deaths worldwide, with 75% in developing countries. In Nigeria, 5 million young people are addicted to cigarettes. At a stakeholders event in Enugu, he emphasized the need to combat tobacco use, especially amongst youths, and highlighted the shift of tobacco marketing to films due to regulatory constraints. Dr. Shaibu Hussaini, Executive Director of the National Films and Video Censors Board, stressed the importance of removing smoking depictions in films to protect society. He called for industry self-regulation and collaboration to create a smoke-free society, noting that the NFVCB role in censoring and regulating the film industry to combat harmful content. Yes, sir. This is a very, very dicey topic because I do know that the tobacco lobby is a multi-billion-dollar, if not trillion-dollar lobby group. But tobacco has killed 80 million people worldwide. And tobacco is still sold on our streets. And tobacco is not yet banned. How could such product that has taken so much life still be accepted in general, despite the damage and carnage it causes, sir?
Well, while preparing to come for this program this morning, I saw on the social media pictures of actors, one of the popular Nollywood actors, and then the caption was the federal government is banning ritual killing, money ritual, and smoking in our movies, you know. It's very much unfortunate that the younger ones are not learning, okay? I made a post this morning even asking parents and teachers, please, look at what these children are doing, look at what our younger ones are doing.
Exactly.
People they are dying in their numbers. And yet on a daily basis, you see them smoking this thing. It's not just tobacco. Drug and alcohol abuse is on the high increase.
Exactly, sir.
Okay? Yes, they say it's for escapism, as we have it in literature. But whether you like it or not, escapism does not solve any problem.
Exactly.
The truth of the matter is, it will temporarily take you away, okay, from the burning issue, whatever your problems are at the moment. Okay, maybe the problem of hunger, challenges from the home, it will make you escape for a moment. The moment the thing is off your system, that problem will still persist. But the thing is, it is killing our young ones, okay? Good a thing, the government is making concerted effort to ensure that this thing is eradicated in our society. I support them wholeheartedly.
No, but the government is still taking tax from tobacco. The government is still accepting that there's no tobacco company that would want to come here to open up their industry or their manufacturing firm here. And also, the government is open for those kind of businesses. The government has not said anything concerning tobacco smoking. What should be the case? Is it because the lobby group has so much pounds and dollars in their coffers to be able to influence government, even if the health of mostly the young adults and the teenagers are at stake, sir?
Well, people should be true to themselves as well as the government, okay? I remember some time ago, even the NAFDAC came out to ban sale of a sachet alcohol, exactly. Okay? But up to date, in fact, it's as though even the mention of banning it brought about more production.
Yes.
Okay? These are the sort of things. If these things are not available, people will not consume them. But their availability is what is causing this consumption.
And why is the government allowing it to be?
You know, that's why I said we must be true to ourselves. Okay? The government and our citizens, it's time we begin to be true to ourselves. If you say that this is a government policy, follow it to its logical conclusion. If you have banned a particular substance that is harmful to members of the society, set up task force, okay, and make sure that these things are completely eradicated in the society. You cannot be saying you don't want people to be smoking tobacco. You are going behind to go and collect money from the tobacco company and then allow the production and the importation and the growth of it in the system. You don't want you don't want people to consume alcohol in sachet. You banned it, and then in your society they are still existing, and then you are not doing anything about it. Okay? In fact, the one that annoys me is even the motor parks. We are talking about accidents on our roads. Okay? But if you go to the motor parks, is this sachet alcohol that you see here and there? Our drivers consume them, okay, without qualms. In fact, it's like a ritual. Before a driver will enter the vehicle, you must sip it. For them, they say, I want my eyes to be clear. Something that is intoxicating you, that while you are on the steering, anything can happen because you're no longer yourself. Okay, so government should be holistic about some of their policies. This is what we are saying.
Please do advise, as an educationist, I know it's a role that you are used to in other spheres of our society. What advice can you give to the government concerning the addictive habit of smoking and curbing that, even for non-smokers, for second-hand smokers, and for our youths that are deeply addicted in the movie industry? What's your take on what should be done?
Well, to our younger ones out there, those who are involved in alcohol abuse and tobacco abuse, I want to remind you of the popular advert. Even the tobacco companies will always tell you that smokers are liable to die young. It is true in all ramification. Substance abuse is something that kills you over time. It doesn't just happen immediately. Over time, it begins to damage your vital organs. And then gradually, as your age is going by, you begin to feel the effect in the body system. Okay? But unfortunately, because of, should I use the word over abuse, people are dying young out of it. Okay? So the young ones out there, whether we like it or not, it is bad in all ramification. Tobacco smoking, alcohol abuse, it is bad in all ramification. Please do not take it. Do not indulge in it. It will not solve any problem. Rather, it will cause you more harm. If it doesn't do it now, in the nearest future, it will cause you more harm. To the government of the day, please, if you say these things are not good for the society, follow suit. If there are government policies on them, set up task force. Make sure that the security agencies are clamping down on people who are selling them, people who are producing them, and people who are using them. This is the best way to eradicate these things from our society.
And viewers, we've been talking to Minabo Dagogo Lawson, an educationist and a socio-political commentator and analyst. It's our pleasure having you on ATN Society Watch, sir.
My pleasure always. I feel elated whenever I'm here. And thank you very much for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
And viewers, this is where we wrap it up on Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. Do well to check out our social media handles on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Don't forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. I remain your host, Raymond Ken, unavoidably absent. Until we grace your screen same time tomorrow, please stay tuned.